And this is why having wise counsel and people that are connected and can hear from the Lord on your behalf. She told me that she saw a whole bunch of cars behind me. And that's why she felt like my time at Enterprise was not up. Mm. And I told her what was going on. I told her the process. I said, God is telling me to put in my resignation letter. I'm struggling with this because you told me that you saw cars behind me. Yeah. You told me that. And I believe you. Every word that you've given me, I got proof of that.
Accurate.
It's accurate. Like, it's bullseye accurate. Yeah. So why would this be any different? So I'm struggling, y'all. Like, y'all got to hear me on this. I am struggling because it looks like what she said was a lie.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, yeah.
And go. Let's start right there. Prepare. Play the video. Go ahead, play it.
Desiree.
Just go ahead.
You just want me to?
Mm-hmm. This gonna be the opening thing. That's what we're gonna start right there.
Hold on. Let's see.
Get yourself prepared to leave. Start making your exit plan. You deserve your dreams.
This should not be free.
Play it for the people one more time, Jess. One more time.
Get yourself prepared to leave. Start making your exit plan. You deserve your dreams.
This should not be free.
She said, start making your exit plan. You deserve your dreams. So you were in preparation of preparing for Tabitha Brown, right?
Yeah.
You said yes. So she says, will you be my moderator? And you said yes.
I did.
And so then you began to prepare. But as you began to prepare, God was guiding.
God was tearing me up.
Tell us about it. What was going on?
So in that moment that I saw that clip, the day before, it was probably like 24 hours before, I had literally just asked God to let me know if it was meant for me to stay at Enterprise or not. Because I had so many people telling me that my time was limited or my time was coming up. But I felt like they were telling me that because of my opportunity with Tabitha Brown.
Okay.
I didn't believe, and hey y'all, sorry, we already in the middle of a conversation.
Let's go.
Welcome to the safe space.
Welcome.
I didn't believe that it was meant for me to leave because just off the fact that she put me on platform with her.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't have anything else to lean on. Like, all I got is the podcast. All I got is this, all the stuff like that. So as I am listening to her and I watching, like I'm studying, at this point I didn't ask God, okay, God, what do you want me to do? Because I'm not moving without you. Because I know that if I move outside of you, then I'm not going to get what I need to maintain what I think I might want or what I think people may want me to do.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't want to get caught up in it. So I'm sitting on the couch and I watched one video from Chicago that she was on for her previous book. Mm-hmm. And I'm in study mode. And literally, I heard the clip that y'all just heard. And I started crying so hard. That was 11 seconds. And I watched the Terrell show, But I was already, looking up the Tabitha Brown, trying to get some research done. And the algorithm, it went on autoplay. And literally the second video started with her saying, pack your stuff and you deserve to live your dream. What?
Wow.
I cried because I knew that was I asked God, like literally, I have to ask God. I was like, hey, I don't need to have no question marks about it. I don't need to be wayward in my thinking on this. I need to be clear as day. And so I was watching it, and that was the clarity I needed. It wasn't that because I worked for Enterprise 7 years. It's 7 years last year, and it's going on 8, right? And so I'm working for Enterprise. I'm working for this company. I had already told God from the jump. I said, God, if you ever told me to leave this job, you got to put me in full time full entrepreneurship because I'm satisfied here.
Yeah.
I got some frustrations. I got some things that happen or whatever.
That's normal.
But every position has that.
Yeah.
But Enterprise is a good company. Just as simple as that. Enterprise is a good company. I don't have no beef with Enterprise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I actually love Enterprise.
Yeah.
I would tell any college student that's looking and just still trying to figure themselves out, that want to learn business, go apply for Enterprise.
Yeah.
Okay? Go apply for Enterprise.
So at this point, you were good, money good,
job
money
good.
good. I mean, like you say, there's some I think every job comes with its own every job comes with its own frustration sometimes like that. But it's not that you're in a space where you were necessarily looking to leave or to shift or to transition.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for it. But before the Tabitha Brown situation happened, I had some type of feeling that something was about to shift. Remember, I had told you, even the last podcast of the year, I said something's about, speaking over everybody's life, not knowing that I'm speaking over mine. Then I started feeling this shift, and I asked my woman of God, my pastor, I was like, hey, I'm sensing something, but are you sensing anything going on with my job? Like, basically, like, am I about to leave my job? She was like, no, I actually see cars behind you, right? So then when this happens, and I'm asking God, everybody's telling me, oh, Enterprise ain't got long, da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, cool beans. God, what you say about this?
Yeah.
I literally took it. God said, what do you say about this? Fast forward, not even days, like literally that same night. He said, write your resignation letter.
Whoa.
Desiree. Now, mind you, me and you have been in atmospheres where I've heard people say, you need to go ahead and write your resignation letter. The Lord's telling you to leave and you haven't stepped out on faith. And all that. I was like, God, are you telling me to, like, I would be in all that atmospheres like, God, are you telling me to leave? Like, I know I hear you for myself, so I don't feel that. I'm not scared to write no letter, but this don't make sense for me right now.
Yeah.
I've been in atmospheres, and I've heard the testimony say, okay, I wrote my resignation letter, and the Lord told me to submit it next week, and I saw God on this. I've heard all that, but that wasn't my story.
Yeah.
So now I'm being in the same place where I've heard prophesied years before.
Wow.
So this is years before, being in atmospheres where they keep saying this. And I'm like, no. So literally I heard the Lord say, write your resignation letter. And I said, okay. So I write it. I read it, I put it in my phone, and I'm crying while I'm doing this because multiple reasons. For one, this has been a safe place for me. Like, Enterprise has been financially, I've been got a house with Enterprise. I done got my car with Enterprise. I've developed, I'm in debt right now, but I got out of some debt with Enterprise. Yeah. Like, I've done a lot of things. I've grown with Enterprise. Yeah. And so you mean to tell me I'm about to leave the company that's actually helped me build into the place I am right now? Like, that's what you're trying to tell me? So that's number one. Number two, I'm thinking about my connections. Yeah. I've got some strong connections. Like two of the people that showed up at Tabitha Brown, like literally, they are at Enterprise. Yeah. They were so excited. They brought me flowers. Mm-hmm. You remember them? Yeah. Chadney and I can say their name. Chadney and Corey. Corey and Chadney, my C's, my girls. They literally came to support me. And Chadney live in Columbus.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was like I got real relationships. The biggest relationship I was worried about was mine with Greg. Because, y'all know, if y'all paying attention, you've been paying attention.
Yeah.
Y'all know Greg been on here.
Mr. Riley.
And he talk well, honey. I was worried about my relationship with him because at this point, now he's my manager. I know what we're going through. My branch is not all the way intact. Sales is not good right now. We going through a lot of changes, a lot of frustrations.
Yeah.
And it's going to look like I'm leaving because all of this is going on. But I'm like, I went through COVID with this company.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it was not pretty.
Yeah.
Not in the beginning. It got prettier, but not in the beginning. I didn't even know if I was going to have a job during COVID because, everybody was doing layoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But I've been through some ugly with this company. So I was like, I don't want them to think because everything is not good that I'm trying to leave. I say, I don't know how to explain that God told me to do this. So now I'm freaking out. I'm literally freaking out like, God is the one who told me to do this. And I'm doing this. And it seems crazy. Yeah. And then let me tell you the truth, y'all. Let me tell you the truth. I was worried. I was worried about people saying, "Oh, she didn't got a little opportunity with Tab." Ooh, I know they said it. Ooh. I know they said it. That she didn't got this little opportunity with Tab, and now she want to quit her job. And it's not. It wasn't even people that I was at work that I was concerned about saying that. It was the outside people. Mm. So all of these things are going in my head, but I'm writing the resignation letter. I literally called Coach the next day, bawling my eyes out. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't want to seem like I'm crazy. Those are the exact words that came out of my mouth. And her Coach D and Coach JD were on the phone with me. And I'm driving to work. I'm driving to a place where I know I'm feeling I have to submit this letter at some point. Because God, at this point, I didn't ask God for a date. Not at this point. So I just wrote the letter. He didn't give me a date. He just said, and this is the thing about listening to God and obeying what he said. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we can add and subtract for what he said, but no, he told me, write the letter. And I wrote the letter. Yeah. I put it in my phone, dated. It's still in my phone right now. Not going to read it to you because it's unnecessary. But I put it in my phone. I called my coach this day, bawling my eyes out. She prayed with me, and we went through some stuff because she's had that same experience but didn't move. Mm. She had to end up getting let go because she didn't move when God told her to do. So she's telling me, so I'm listening to somebody say, hey, go ahead and move with God. Go with it. If God told you this, go ahead and move with God. I know it's scary, but you going to quit or you going to get fired. And I wasn't trying to be fired. You know what I'm saying? I've told y'all before, my name means too much to me. My brand means too much to me. So fast forward, I was, the Lord I said, Lord, who can I say something to? And eventually, I said, Lord, I need a date. And so, I think a few days went by, and I told the Lord I was on the phone with Greg, and the Lord gave me permission to tell Greg what he told me. As I said, hey, Greg, me and you was in conversation the other day or whatever. But I need you to know that the Lord told me to write my resignation letter. I'm not saying that I'm turning in my resignation letter now, but I know it's coming. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you when because I don't have a date. Wow. Like the level of boldness, I'm telling my friend this, but he's also my leader. Mm. And I asked him, I said, hey, can you just give me some time and I can figure out this date? And I said, I'm not going to leave you hanging on this. Like, I'm not going to mismanage this, but you my dog. So I'm not finna have no confusion with us on this. And so he was like, okay. Literally, after I told him that, the Lord gave me a date. Ooh. And I don't know if I told y'all this. Special days are really center around. No, that I was telling TikTok this. Y'all follow me on TikTok. I've been on there live a lot more lately. But I was telling the TikTok community that the Lord works with me in special days. And typically, it's the dates of people close, like my family member's birthday. So this was probably January 25th or something like that. I don't know. It was right after my birthday. I moved forward. I get off the phone with Greg, and I heard the Lord say February 28th. I knew I heard the Lord because God always deals with me the way he deals with me regarding dates. And that's my mom's birthday, my mom's mom.
Mom.
I literally cried when I heard it. And I'm in the chair getting my hair done. All of this, every time I find something out, I'm prepared. This is revelation I just got. Every time I'm finding information out to leave or to do something regarding enterprise, I'm in preparation for Tabitha Brown's situation.
Oh wow.
So you hear me say I was doing my research, boom, y'all heard what y'all heard. Then my sister is dyeing my hair in preparation for the thing, because it's a whole process. You couldn't dye and get retwisted or whatever. Like, she's retwisting or something, doing something with my hair in preparation for this opportunity. And he tells me February 28th. So I'm like, okay, big. I'm crying. Kendall like, why you crying? I was like, I just got my date. And I don't want Greg to think I knew. Like, I'm worried. But watch this. I need y'all to pay attention to this. As I obeyed, God released another level of information. I couldn't get my date until I told Greg. I couldn't tell Greg until I wrote the resignation letter. I couldn't write the resignation letter until I allowed God to give me permission to do his will.
Wow.
It's levels to it. So watch this, y'all. Fast forward. Greg, in the midst of this, I'm having a conversation with the person that's recruited me to the division, right? There's somebody I've known the full 7 years. And I was like, I kind of told him I didn't know what was going on. This is like a conversation before. So not knowing, they having conversations about me because they're concerned about me at this point. This is why being a good person is valuable. It's very valuable. So they're having a conversation about me in a good manner, in a concerning manner. Hey, what's going on with Jessica? This is the conversation I had with her. This is what she said. It kind of, I don't know what's going on with her. Like, because I'm not the person that's always crying wolf. I'm not the person that's always saying, hey, I'm quitting this job after this job. I'm not that person. So they knew that. And so the communication that they had, okay, bet. So when I told Greg, I had to tell Greg the next day. I said, hey, Greg, the Lord gave me my date last night. Now, mind you, I have not submitted my resignation letter. I'm just telling Greg my process because I know, even though he's my friend, he's also my manager. So I say, hey, I said, it's February 28th. And I want y'all to be mindful. So we got PC telling me I got cars behind me, and the Lord telling me February 28th. I told Greg that would be my last day. That's what I thought that was significant of the date. So fast forward, Greg, I got information that his manager, the person I told you I've been in relationship with and who recruited me to the division, he was so concerned. He like, how's she gonna pay her bills? How's she gonna do this? And the fact that she didn't gave us a 30-day notice, I know she's scared. Like, I've seen people try to quit and they let them folks go. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna, they're just like, okay, cool. That's what you want to do, cool. But the way I managed this situation gave me another level of grace with people that normally act out in a different way. I'm just telling y'all. So it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. And so they're having conversations regarding me, and they're like, hey, Jessica, we know about this opportunity. We just got emailed about this opportunity. Can you I think it'll work well for you because of X, Y, and Z. And so I looked into the opportunity, and I got my counsel. I said, God, am I disappointing God because I'm even considered this opportunity? Am I being scared? Am I not stepping out on faith? And I asked the Lord this, y'all, and I want y'all to pay attention to this. I asked the Lord this. He says, this is a picture of the ram in the bush story. If you don't know what about the ram in the bush, Abraham had been waiting for his son for years. He finally has Isaac, and then God tells him to take Isaac and sacrifice him. They get up there. They go through this process, and right when Abraham was going to sacrifice his son Isaac, a voice called out and said, "Hey, wait!" It directed him to look in the bush, and the ram was in the bush for him to sacrifice. The Lord told me in that moment is that if Abraham had never followed the directions, he never would have saw the ram.
Wow.
So if I had never followed the directions of writing the resignation letter, communicating with Greg, communicating what going through the process, when I tell y'all, that process was so hard, because it's like I am trying to prepare for a moment in a lifetime, a once in a lifetime opportunity with Miss Tab. And now you telling me that I don't know where the finances are going to come from. Like I'm in this state of, okay, God, open doors, but I'm having to close some at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like folks act
real.
like, oh, the tab. Do you want tab anointing all around your neck? Because that's what happened. As soon as a woman of God asked me, boom, there it is. That's when the whole job situation happened. You get what I'm saying? So now fast forward, I've agreed, because God gave me permission, right? I apply for this opportunity. It's a work from home opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not in leadership. I still keep my benefits. I still get to, add to my my little HOA or not HOA,
HSA. Health savings account.
Yeah, them savings accounts and stuff like that. I still get to do all that bougie stuff. I thank God for retirement. I still get to do that. And so I still got an interview for this job. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna get too much detail because something else happened. But if I get to that, I'm gonna have to tell a whole story. So I apply for the position. I get an interview. It was 2 interviews, right? And the lady told me that it was the week before my Mimo's birthday. And the lady told me, she was like, we got to figure out who we want or whatever, but you'll find something out whether or not you got the position by next Friday. My Mimo's birthday, February 28th, was a Wednesday. I called Greg and I said, yeah, I had my my interview. I had my interview, all right? I said it went well. Now, mind you, I do have to plug this in. This is the same company that I've been told that I have an opportunity to interview. Like, I'm not a good interviewer, right? No shade, no foul, because everybody wanted me to win. Like, I don't know too many people that's in the company. If they didn't want me to win, they ain't speak out loud about it. So that's on them. But everybody wanted me to win.
That you didn't interview well.
That I didn't interview well. Like, everybody pretty much knew that, like, would say, oh, she's not a good interviewer, whatever. Cool beans. So I went through this process. I ain't really, because of the time and how everything was, I didn't really do a lot of interview prep. I did some. Me and Greg went over some stuff, but not like how we would normally do. Y'all, when I tell y'all, okay, back to the date. I had to put that in. So I have these 2 interviews. I'm just myself. I said, you know what? If they don't want me the way I am, I'm just going to trust God. I told Greg after the lady told me when I was going to find out, I said, I'm going to find out if I got the job. No, I said, I'm going to get this job. And I'm going to find out on February 28th. And Greg told me, so end up being, obviously y'all can tell, I got the job. She called me at 3:00 on February 28th to offer me the position. So God gave me a date that I thought I was leaving my enterprise incomplete, but gave me a date of confirmation that I was transitioning. And I want y'all to be mindful of this. I asked for feedback, and the lady told me, the lady's feedback was that I was optimistic, that I spoke well, that I had great customer service skills, and that she could find no flaw in my interview.
Wow.
What? You, ma'am, I think you're lying because everybody else said
You don't interview well.
I don't interview well. And you're telling me my interview was flawless. I'm confused.
Wow.
I'm confused. But that's a whole blessing within itself. Now, I need to put y'all back to a place where my PC said. And this is why having wise counsel and people that are connected and can hear from the Lord on your behalf. She told me that she saw a whole bunch of cars behind me. And that's why she felt like my time at Enterprise was not up. And I told her what was going on. I told her the process. I said, God is telling me to put in my resignation letter. I'm struggling with this because you told me that you saw cars behind me.
Yeah.
You told me that. And I believe you. Every word that you've given me, I got proof of that.
Accurate.
It's accurate. Like, it's bullseye accurate.
Yeah.
So why would this be any different? So I'm struggling, y'all. Like, y'all got to hear me on this. I am struggling because it looks like what she said was a lie. But guess what my position is? I'm an account fleet coordinator for Enterprise Fleet. What does that mean? That I basically am the admin for our clients to manage their fleet once they lease it with the company. It's not trucks. Majority of this is cars. I'll eventually, because I'm in training right now, I'll eventually have 30 customers to be over. That's cars on cars on cars. That's what she saw.
Wow.
That's what she saw. So she did not lie.
Wow.
That my time with Enterprise is not up, but my time in that position was.
Wow.
I don't know who this is for, but sometimes as we develop in this entrepreneur, content creator, our story is not like everybody else's story. God is not calling me to quit. Like he told Desiree to just stop. He told Desiree to stop.
He did.
He told Desiree to stop being cosmetologist and doing all that stuff like, and she negotiated with the Lord.
Sure did. I was like, Lord, I'll give you 3 days because that's how I was making my money. Okay, what you
She
mean?
negotiated with the Lord. I didn't have to negotiate. I just went through the process. I did everything the Lord told me to do, and came out. Now, am I making the money that I was making as a manager? No, I'm not. However, I even told Greg this. I said, Greg, if God is allowing me to experience another division as long as I've been in this position, He has a bigger assignment for me. I made a conscious decision not to hide what I was doing. I got some people that told me, oh, don't tell nobody what you're doing. Don't say that you're going in. No. I made a conscious decision to say, hey, I'm a content creator. I'm a podcaster. I'm in school. Some of y'all finna find that out. I'm doing all these things. I don't need it to be a secret.
Yeah.
Because at first I felt like I had to hide it, but everybody started finding out about it. And so that has been the most freeing thing. Some of the people that I've been knowing for 4 weeks have decided to be a part of the Just Ask podcast community. People
so
don't
dope.
know me for real.
That's so dope.
Then I got another young lady that I'm helping her with her content. Y'all, we in the same position. We training together. She was like, I'm so happy that I met you because I was so scared to do it. Y'all, it is not about the job. It is about the will of the Lord. It's about the assignment.
Come on.
And so the reason why I can make less money is to push and try to get this podcast stuff off the rim is because I know I'm in the will of God.
Yeah.
That He got to take care of me because you the one who told me to move like this. Yep. You the one who told me to start this podcast. You the one who told me to write my resignation letter and have a conversation with Greg. You're the one who told me that that I should take this position, that it was a rim in the bush situation. You're the one that told me. So if I have obeyed you in this, I need you to take care of me.
Yeah, and He will. That's what it's saying. If it's His will, it's His bill. If it's His will, it's His bill.
If it's His will, it's His bill. And so The beautiful thing about this is because I've put my faith first, no one fought me on this. And the fight wasn't because they was ready for me to go. Because mind you, my managers, the people that I was connected to and have been connected to, they all text me on my first day and say, hey, Jessica, are you liking it?
Wow.
Are you okay? So it's not like people was trying to push me away. That would be a lie. That's not my story. You might hear other people try to dog Enterprise out. I'm not finna do that.
Yeah.
You're not finna hear that from me. I don't have a dog Enterprise bone in my body. What I am presenting to you is that I position myself. I did well in the 7 years that I did. So much so that when my life changed and my life altered, because my faith is important to me. First of all, they believed me. Then they tried to assist me so that this transition and whatever God is doing in this moment, whatever God is doing with this podcast, they tried to make sure that I still had my a roof over my head and my bills paid. They didn't owe me that. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't have to. And I'm not trying to give them all the credit, but God, because I was obedient, that level of honor and that level of love was revealed to me. That level of care was revealed to me. And what I'm saying is, when God tells us to leave situations or tell us to obey, we don't know what's on the other side of that obedience. Sometimes it's not, y'all, I want y'all to hear me on this. Sometimes it's not what we imagine. We can imagine ourselves in a broken place. We can imagine ourselves in a hard place. But that's not what God has ordained us to be in. He's just asking us to obey the first step.
Yep.
He's just asking us for the first step, for the first yes. And when we do that, we end up better than we thought we were going to be. Now, am I open? I know eventually God will say, hey, Jessica, it's a wrap with that. Because I'll be so booked and busy, booked, loaded. Me and we traveling, we flying out. Folks saying, "Hey, Desiree, Jessica, we need y'all." Tyler Perry call. I'm speaking into this. Tyler Perry gonna call me. Me and Tyler Perry gonna work together.
Yeah.
I've always had that in my dream that I wanted to work with Tyler Perry. I actually wanted to be on his play. I'm being transparent with y'all. I wanted to be on his play. I can't be working with Tyler Perry having a strict schedule with Enterprise. I can't do that. That's not reality.
Yeah.
And me leaving Enterprise does not say Enterprise is a bad company. Enterprise is a phenomenal company. The CEO is phenomenal. Shout out to Chrissy Taylor. I got to meet you. I love you, girl. You're doing a good job. I love her. But I told y'all my story for the simple fact that is when God, you don't have to question God's voice, how he speaks to you. Bruh. If you pay attention well enough, you'll know that he's talking to you. What happens is we get so fearful of what he's telling us that we try to use man's voice to give us an out. I don't know who that's for. Jessica. I don't know who it's for, but that was good. Jessica. That was straight from the kingdom, baby. We try to use man's voice as an out. That's why it's good to have your counsel in the good season. So when the bad season happen, it'll teach you how to trust and just go with what God is saying, and they'll confirm. Because anybody I spoke with confirmed what God was doing.
That's good.
So two different things. I had my coach. They was like, oh, I feel God on this. I feel this and on this, blah, blah, blah. And I had my pastor saying, but I see cars behind you. And I trusted both of them. But it felt so contradictory. I think that's how you say the word, contradictory.
Yep, sound about right to me.
I felt so torn.
Yeah.
Between the words that I was given and the confirmation that I was given to what God made sense, because I kept going. Woo. It won't make sense if you stop, baby. If you stop, it's not going to make sense. Keep going and let God continue to reveal to you what you're supposed to do in this season. Nobody can out confirm you outside of God. And if you say, I told God, I said, God, I need you to be loud to me. I need you to be so clear that I know it's you. And he used a voice that I was already listening to. I was using prepared to tell me to go live my dream. A dream that I honestly, if I'm transparent with y'all, I had given up on. And now I'm dreaming again. Now I'm being bold about my moves. Now if somebody got something to say, it's like, okay, well, the Lord's telling me to do this. So if you got a problem with what the Lord's telling me to do, and then I'm being respectful about it, all them folks at Enterprise want me to do is my job. They do not care about what I'm doing as far as being a content creator. As long as I'm doing my job and taking care of them customers, I'm good. That's what matters. But now I get to live my dream. I don't have to run a business. And I can do it as I'm growing and developing in this content creation realm.
Yeah.
So
that's good, Jess. And, you know, that's really what this the journey is. It's really having faith and trusting God with every move, right? You know, if we're believing him for some big things, you know, not sometimes, there's going to be a process for everything.
yeah.
You know, sometimes some processes are short, but some may take a little bit of time depending on how obedient we are. You know what I'm saying? And I think because you're obedient and you know his voice, you know, you were able to move on into that thing. Now just imagine if you had waited or if you had stalled, or if you had delayed obedience is still disobedience. You know what I'm saying? And I think that my journey has been a little bit longer because sometimes I still do waver, even though he is showing me himself in this season, and the more that I journey along and the more that he shows me who he is, you know, that's how your faith grows. So the next task shouldn't be as hard to obey, but you know, when it don't make sense, it's hard sometimes, you know. So I just it's been real beautiful to watch the journey, and it's so crazy because the journeys are kind of parallel, but not really. You know what I'm saying? We in this journey where we're literally trusting God.
Just trusting God.
Just trusting
that's
God.
all we got room to do. Because at this point, I never imagined, like when I say my first quarter, y'all, was just so crazy. But because I had crazy faith, I could move with it. Yeah, I'm type A, but one thing I'm not type A about is what God is doing. Listen, sometimes I got to be reminded, but I'm scared not to do
That part.
I'm terrified. Like the fear of the Lord regarding my life, and it's, you know, certain things I got opportunities in, but it's certain things I'm like, God, if I don't move, I know it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be bad, and I feel like that would have been unnecessary anger, frustration with people I genuinely love and care about.
Yeah.
If I did not move in obedience. If I didn't move in obedience. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If I have a final note for today, is obey God.
The first time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obey God the first time. You don't have to know the whole plan. Just know there is a plan.
It is.
Woo! I'm not gonna tap into that. Just know it's a plan.
It is a plan.
And he says, for the plans I have for you. We got to pull it up before. I can't just leave it and not do that. Hold on. For I know the plans I have for you. That's the one.
It's Jeremiah 29:11.
Yeah, Lord Jesus, why can't I get there? Are you going to beat me before that?
I don't know. Let's see. Jeremiah.
Okay, I got the NIV version pulled up. It says Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I'm going to say that again. For I know, this is what God is saying. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Mm-hmm. And so trust the plan of God, obey the will of the Lord, and you will prosper. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until next week, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask. See you later.